Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you are well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Much love, guys. Now, today's first story comes from the TrueOffMyChest subreddit from a throwaway account. It's one with multiple updates, some you may have seen before in other places, so if you'd want to skip certain parts of the story, please feel free to do so. Timestamps are always down in the description and along the timeline below. Thank you. It's titled, "My brother tried to pull a fast one on his wife, and she did an Uno reverse, and I'm laughing watching him scramble. My brother, fake name Dick, and his wife Anna have had some serious marital problems, which is 99% Dick's fault. Anna is a stay-at-home mum, goes to college online and has a side business with an MLM, but whatever. She's made some new friends and seems to be happier. Before they had kids, Dick and Anna had a solid marriage. Anna told me after the kids came, their marriage slowly went downhill and now it's on life support. Anna does everything for the kids, and Dick wants a medal for watching the kids for 30 minutes while Anna cooks dinner. He's more than capable of taking care of them, but chooses to let Anna do everything if he can get away with it. The MLM Anna is involved with is having a big convention this week. We are locals, but Anna decided to do a staycation and is staying at a hotel near the convention with her friends. This has been planned for months. Anna told Dick to take time off work and made it very clear she needed the break, and this would be a really good opportunity to network. Over Christmas, she asked him if he got approved for the time off, and he said, yeah. I told her he is going to mess this up for you, and she told me he better not. She called me in tears, and Dick texted her that an emergency came up at work and he would not be able to take it off. He had to put in a long day on Tuesday and would be flying out on Wednesday. He was so sorry and would make it up to her. I thought she was going to have a breakdown. She could barely talk. I told her to calm down and finish packing and pick her kids up from school. I said I would watch them until Dick got home. She did not want me in the middle. I told her, fuck Dick, and we've never been close, and I did not give a damn how he reacted. I watched the kids until Dick strolled in at 10 PM and told him he was a selfish piece of shit on my way out the door. He blasted my phone and I put him on Do Not Disturb. I talked with Anna yesterday and he blasted her phone as well. She ended up telling him that they could either get marriage counseling or see divorce lawyers, his choice, but he better stop calling her unless it was an emergency with the kids or she was calling to talk to them. He called his jets after being told that. He stopped by my house and I spoke to him through the Ring camera and he asked me what he was supposed to do with the kids. I asked him if he even bothered to request a time off from work and he would not answer me and said he had an important business trip. He said Anna won't give the contact info for their babysitters and asked me if I could watch the kids. I told him to get the fuck off my property with his bullshit. If he were any kind of parent, he'd have already had the contact info for the babysitter. Anna prepped meals for the kids, organized all their clothes for the week, and left a detailed itinerary of their schedule. What else does he need? Our parents and his in-laws won't return his calls. He's flying solo this week, had to cancel his alleged business trip. Anna says she will get to the bottom of that when she gets back home. Hope she has the best time with her friends. I hope Dick does not get a moment of peace. No one is buying his lies or coming to the rescue, and I laugh when I think about it. Good luck, bro." So Jimmy Rose asks the OP, "Are you Dick's brother or sister?" OP says, "I'm his sister." Original Cranberry says, "How old are the kids?" "In their fights, the kids will be impacted. That Dick will not feed them. He needs to learn this, but not with children getting messed up in between." OP says the kids are 4 and 6. They will be fed and he is very capable of taking care of them, and he will take good care of them. Anna is in close contact with them. The issue is, he tried to sabotage their staycation because he is selfish. A commenter replied to that saying, "I think he wasn't just trying to sabotage. It sounds like he had some side action planned as well." OP says, "I believe he is very capable of that. That is a whole other can of worms Anna has chosen not to currently pursue. If he was planning some side action, it won't be happening this week." Another commenter says, if it's a convention for networking, then he's actively sabotaging her work. Does he even view her business with the MLM as work, or does he see it as a hobby? Before the children, did Anna have a job or career or something that allowed her financial freedom? OP says he sees it as strictly as a hobby and is not supportive at all, and openly tells her he is embarrassed she is involved with an MLM. None of us take her MLM seriously, but we try to be supportive within reason. She gave up her job to be a stay-at-home mum. Commenter says, "I'd advise Anna to consult a divorce lawyer regardless." OP says, "I see this stunt being the final straw. Commenter replies saying, "Do you think he could be cheating?" And OP says, "Anna has suspected him of cheating in the past but could not find proof, so she dropped it. Would not put anything past him." Commenter says, "Same. At least Anna knows she's got support, and OP is an absolute boss for being an awesome bestie. I'll be getting their favorite snacks and candies every week for several months as a thank you for ass covering. Holy crap, Dick is an incompetent dick. I'm sorry. Did he forget he's a dad to these kids and not just a sperm donor?" OP says, "He thinks because he's the breadwinner, that means his work is done. Our dad is nothing like that. I told Anna to keep me posted, and I will keep you guys posted." Commenter says, "I hope Anna saved some money before she left. Dick is really going to screw her over for this." OP says, "There have been so many divorce comments that I googled the divorce laws for our state. They have no prenup, live in a community property state, and he earns a very high income. I think he better start being more helpful at home." Commenter says, "This is the situation where Anna would be better off single. What value does he add to this relationship? None. Men think we will stay in a marriage when we do not have to. I commend you for handling of the situation with your brother." OP says, "Anna is working on finishing her degree. She has a lot of support. If he thinks he can trap her, he is suffering from delusions." One more commenter says to OP, "She'll get better behavior from him if he's an ex-husband, with the courts mandating his parental effort under pain of contempt. There's no way he requested that time off, and I would love to see what a judge would do with that low rent behavior." OP says, "I do not believe for a second he requested time off. As crazy as it sounds, he would probably be more involved father if they got a divorce." So it was 4 days later that OP came in with their update and said, "I got a lot of messages for updates, so I'm going to leave it in the comments. I'm going to start with the good news first. Anna is going to divorce Dick. Thanks to a family member, she was able to get an appointment with a lawyer this week. She comes very highly recommended." When Anna came home on Sunday night, Dick was waiting with a suitcase and said it was his turn to take a vacation, and he left. No arguing, he just left. In his warped mind, his silence is meant to punish Anna, but he is just making her life easier. While he is gone, she's going to be making copies of all the financial documents she can find. She hopes he really teaches her a lesson and stays gone. The house was a wreck. She moved all of Dick's crap from the master bedroom into his office. All his shit is laying on the floor. You can't even walk in there. There is not even room for a twin air mattress. The kids enjoyed their time with Dick. They were asking for him today and want to spend time with him. Anna called him and he did answer and spoke with the kids and told them he was on a business trip. She's going to file for joint custody. If he does not want 50% custody, then he will have to turn it down on the record. She also found out last Tuesday when he was supposed to be watching the kids, he was tagged in a picture at a bar playing pool. So much for working. He did not even untag himself, which shows he really does not give a fuck. He doesn't love Anna or like her, but he must hate her to act like that. I don't get it. He absolutely disgusts me. This is all I have to update. So it was 16 days later that OP came in with the next update and says, "I finally caught up with Anna. She decided not to go with the lawyer she consulted with originally. She found a new lawyer that was a better fit. He specializes in high conflict / asset divorces and has years of experience dealing with men that have Dick's need for control. There is a lot behind the scenes of information gathering that needs to be done before Dick is served. The lawyer said he needs 3 to 4 weeks. When it's real life, the process is much longer. Anna was warned that if they do go into litigation, the divorce can drag on for 1 to 2 years if she is lucky, so to prepare herself. The lawyer emphasized to Anna not to tell him their marriage is over until the papers are filed with the court and a process server has been lined up. She's going to tell him she filed for divorce and have him served within minutes. I don't remember the legal term, but there is an automatic order in place. With the filing, neither party will be able to make unilateral decisions regarding their marital assets, which basically prevents Dick from pulling any shady shit. If he does that, then that is what a lawyer is there for." Her demeanor is different from when I last saw her. She is confident and has this I don't give a fuck attitude. Whatever love she used to have for Dick is well and truly dead. I see it. When she talked about him, it was with the same contempt he has for her. She was talking about him like I do. After they got their temporary orders, she has no hope of them coming to a temp agreement. She said the only communication she will have with him is through lawyers in a parenting app. After strategizing with her lawyer and coming up with a plan, she feels like she has her life back and some direction. I felt like I was talking to a stranger, but I love this new confidence and determination she has. Dick was gone all week to God knows where. Anna did not contact him one time unless the kids wanted to speak with him. It was radio silence on her end. In the past, she always kept in close touch and would pick his sorry ass up from the airport. Due to a distance, Dick knew he was in trouble. There was no shock on his end when his office was trashed and Anna told him he'd be sleeping there moving forward. He had the audacity to ask how long she was going to be angry. He's treating this like a temper tantrum she is throwing. She used his asinine question as a chance to inform him of how things would be moving forward. Keeping her lawyer's advice in mind, she told him that it's going to take her a long time to get past what he did and he needs to give her lots of space. I can picture that SOB now thinking he is off the hook and better behave himself until they go back to normal. Anna said she wanted to throw up in her mouth saying that, but she needed to lull him into a false sense of security. She also brought up his lack of involvement with the kids and told him moving forward he'd be the primary caregiver every other weekend and he needed to pay attention to them in the evening without being prompted. I don't think he can see what is in front of him due to his arrogance. If my husband kicked me out of the bedroom and told me I was taking care of our kids by myself every other weekend, I would know a divorce was coming. For the first time ever, Dick has taken the kids to school every day this week without being asked, so he is using the kids to try and get back in Anna's good graces. He has no idea what's coming his way. I wanted to address the MLM Anna is involved with. I really regret saying she was involved with one because it detracted from the real issues in her marriage and took on a life of its own. I first want to say Anna spends her fun money on the MLM. Dick would have lost his mind if she used his money. Her involvement, in my personal opinion, is based on the friendship she has made. I also think depression left her vulnerable to being entangled with them. I'm not going to tell her she's an idiot for joining one. I tried to warn her, but she told me she knew what she was doing. I'm hoping she no longer feels the need for those friendships after she is free of Dick, if they are conditional like I suspect. Anna is laying low and Dick is behaving, so I don't think there will be an update until he gets served. So, the next one came after a month and 2 days, and says, I've gotten a lot of messages requesting an update. Dick has not been served yet. As I mentioned before, it's going to take a while and the lawyer needs time. Dick is still as clueless as ever and still living in his office. Anna has stopped doing anything for Dick. When I say she does nothing for him, I mean nothing. No hosting, no cooking, no laundry, nothing. He's very upset and asked her what the point of her staying home is and said she needed to get a job. She laughed in his face and told him that wasn't happening and there was nothing he could do about it. Since he is used to Anna planning everything, he did nothing for our mum on Mother's Day. Anna spent it with her own family and Dick was not invited. He texted me on Mother's Day and asked what we were doing for mum. I told him we were doing nothing and I made my own plans with mum and he was not included. I told him to go to Costco and buy some fucking flowers and drop them off. I cannot stand him. Selfish bastard. So after another month, OP comes in again and says, I could not longer post on my original thread, so I will update here. A lot has happened in the past couple of weeks. Dick was served with papers and he actually took it well and did not act like he was blindsided. He claims he was planning to divorce Anna and had just secured a lawyer. Dick told Anna she has made his life a living hell, and he'd be happier living on the street. The part that is killing him is that she's treating him with indifference and he can no longer control her. She called him out for all his lies, deflection and cheating when he said he would rather be homeless than spend one more day with her. Well, he finally admitted to cheating with no remorse and even offered to answer any questions out of pure spite. She only had 2 questions, and that was when he started cheating and how often he did fake business trips. He has been cheating on and off for 4 years, so around the time their youngest was born. He faked business trips every chance he got. She told him that was all she wanted to know, and he seemed disappointed she had no more questions. For the life of me, I cannot figure out where his anger is rooted. This man did whatever the fuck he wanted, when he wanted, and basically lived 2 lives. Dick decided on his own to move out. Anna's lawyer told her not to move out before a temporary custody agreement was in place. You have to assume Dick's lawyer gave the same advice, but he's ignoring it. Dick decided to be a petty bitch and took Anna's espresso machine and blender with him. That's all the household items he chose to take. He made a dramatic exit by leaving his wedding ring, house keys and clicker on the counter and telling her he will never step foot in their house again. She told him that was a promise he better keep and threw his wedding ring in the trash right in front of him. Getting him out of that house was an act of divine intervention. She is beyond thrilled to have him gone. This past Father's Day weekend, he had the kids in the new place. He was supposed to return them Sunday evening and unilaterally decided he was keeping them longer. Anna told him to keep them until Friday evening and they could start 50-50 right away. For this extra free time, she went on a camping trip and Dick had to scramble. He He's like a toddler trying to test his limits with his mother and then facing consequences. Dick's lawyer still needs to file a response. He asked Anna if she planned to go back to work. She asked him if he were in her position, would he go back to work if he did not have to? Dick, of course, said he would go back to work. Lol. I hope Dick is mentally preparing himself to support 2 households. I think his lawyer educated him because he's now asking Anna what she plans to do versus telling her what she is going to do. Right now, they are being civil. Hopefully, their lawyers can negotiate a settlement. It'll be easier since they're living apart. He's big mad at me and I'm a traitor. Upset with our parents about their lack of support, but has no problem asking them to babysit last minute. At least he has his toxic bros to validate his life decisions. If anything major happens, I will update, but everything is with the lawyers now. Commenter says, does Anna actually want 50-50, or is she just saying that to prove a point and to force him to admit he's a shitty dad? Opie says she wants to share 50-50 and filed for joint custody in the divorce papers. And I'm certainly going to be looking for another update on this one, but I absolutely love that she's meeting his tantrums with like just complete indifference. You know, he was clearly expecting tears or begging, some kind of screaming match, something along those lines. Something that proved he still had like an emotional hold over her. And instead she's just like, okay, and carries on with her life. That must be driving him absolutely mad. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let's move on to another story. Now our next story comes from the Am I the Arsehole subreddit. It's a new story, so there's not an update as yet, but it's from Grape Wells, who says, am I the arsehole for selling my son's car after he lost our 10k on cryptocurrencies? I'm 47 and I have a son who is 20. 2 years ago, I helped him buy his first car. He handled around 1/3 of the total sum and I paid the remaining amount after we agreed that he would repay me over time. I didn't pressure him because he's in college and has only a part-time job yet. A month ago, I asked my wife about the 10k we had saved for emergencies. After much hesitation, she finally confessed that around 4 months ago, she handed it to our son to invest in cryptocurrencies without my knowledge or approval. He lost everything, despite his assurances that he would pay it back fast. I didn't lose my temper and acted calm. I sat down with my son and asked him to explain honestly what had happened. He claimed he believed he could quickly turn a profit, repay us and even earn more. He lost everything. They both remained silent, which made me feel deceived by my own family. I took a word from my wife and son that no one takes money without acknowledging others, and they will tell me everything from now on, no matter how harsh the reality is. After a few days, my son suggested selling his car. He said he'd pay back his share. Still not in full, and that he also owes a friend $1,000, which he wants to finally pay back. So I put it on sale. The car was sold 2 weeks ago. My wife was against it until the very end. After the sale, she said I was too greedy with my own kid and that I'd taken away the only decent thing he had. Her parents are upset with me as well, claiming that I punished my son rather than helping him get back on his feet. Son is upset, but he doesn't say I forced him. He says he understands why it turned out this way. Still now, the whole family looks at me like I'm a monster. Even relatives are on my side. I feel bad because he is young and made a mistake, but I can't give him 10k and let him lose it as if it's nothing just because we're family. That's money we really need to be in quick access just in case, and I work hard to earn it. Am I the arsehole? I mean, the car isn't even really jumping out to me in this story. It's the fact that the wife handed over $10,000 of emergency savings without even telling her husband. That's just a huge breach of trust. Imagine your partner secretly giving away your emergency fund. Surely you'll be having a much bigger conversation than just the money here. And if anything, the son seems to be understanding of the consequences of his own actions in this. And all these relatives that's calling OP greedy, they're free to hand over the 10k themselves if they think it's no big deal, right? Holy shit. Commenter comes straight in and says, your wife is the problem here, man. She is responsible for handing him 10k behind your back. Another commenter says, not the arsehole. The biggest problem isn't that your son lost money. It's that your wife secretly gave away your emergency fund without telling you. One more commenter who says, not the arsehole. Your wife is the problem here. She should not be giving 10k to a 20-year-old. That's wild. The fact that your son was on board to sell his car and make this right tells me he understands the consequences of his actions and regrets them. I've had the wife pay back the 10k and let the son keep his car and continue those payments. And there was so many comments just like that saying they can't believe what the wife has done in that situation. How about you? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's have another story. Now our next story comes from Jared D, who says, am I the arsehole for refusing to go a full week on my wife's family vacation after we had agreed not to repeat it? For years, my wife, our 2 kids and I went to the same beach town for a week with part of my wife's family, her brother, sister-in-law, their kids and her mum. We originally did this because another sibling's family lived there, so it was a chance for all the cousins to be together. The issue is that this trip became extremely repetitive and rigid. Same beach, same street, same basic schedule, same restaurants and meals on the same days, strict quiet times and bedtimes, very little flexibility. My wife's family is very routine driven and frugal. My family is structured too, but on vacation we like variety, activities and some flexibility. When the other siblings' family still lived there was more balance. Once they stopped going, it became just us and the routine-driven side. The last couple of years were miserable. The houses got smaller while the kids got bigger. The routine became more rigid. Our kids were bored and stir crazy, and I ended up trying to take them out to do things just to break up the week. That caused tension because I was going outside the plan. My wife was also stressed and admitted afterwards that the trip was no longer enjoyable. After the last trip, my wife and I had a long conversation and agreed we would not do the same vacation again. We talked about trying something different. Mountains, lake, different beach, really anything else. Recently, my wife handed me her phone and asked which vacation house was nicer. It was the same beach, same street, basically the same exact trip again. I was angry because I thought we had already agreed that this was done. Her explanation is that her mum said this location is sentimental to her and that she wanted all the grandkids together there. Her brother's family agreed immediately. My wife says it was this or nothing, so she chose this because getting grandma and the grandkids together was important to her. She has already fully committed herself and our kids to going for the full week, and she assumed I would eventually just agree and go too. My issue is that I feel like her mum and brother made the decision. My wife accepted it, and I was informed after the fact. I told her I felt betrayed and isolated because we already agreed as a couple not to repeat this trip. She keeps circling back to, this is important to me. Why won't you just do it for me? We've been fighting for a solid week about it, so I offered a compromise. I said that because it's become so important to her, I'd come for the last 2 nights. She's committed herself and the kids for the full week. Now she says that since she knows I don't want to be there, I've ruined it, and asks why I have to act like this. She has also brought it up around the kids, so now they know there is conflict. I'm not trying to stop the kids from seeing their grandmother. I'm not saying no to them going. I'm saying no to spending a full week of my vacation time repeating the exact trip we already agreed was bad for our family. Yeah, I would feel in that situation that they'd gone behind my back at the same time as well, because you had already discussed it, agreed that you wouldn't do the trip again, and then the wife let her family overrule that agreement, and by the time OP was involved again, the decision's already been made. And the line like, why won't you just do this for me, is pretty manipulative in my opinion. You know, he did offer a compromise by coming for the last 2 nights, but apparently anything short of giving up the entire week of his holiday doesn't count. You should be making decisions together, and that's all there is to it. A commenter says, not the arsehole, but I'd probably just go and make plans with my kids to do whatever they/you want, and who cares what anyone else thinks. Find stuff that you haven't done before, go places you haven't gone before, and if her family has an issue with it, say it's your vacation too, and you and the kids are going to have fun. Maybe if they realize that you aren't just going to be a pushover and do what they want, they either won't push as much for you to go, or they just let it go. Make memories with your kids, screw everyone else, lol. Commenter says, why did you let me down? Why did you lie? Why did you prioritize your mother and brother over your husband? You're disrespectful and clearly our marriage isn't something you care too much about. Don't ask me why I won't give in to you, your brother and mother. Ask yourself why you put me in this position. Your mother's vacation wants have come first for too many years. I'm entitled to have my wife keep her promise to me without being demonized. I wouldn't go at all. One more commenter who says, not the arsehole. Well, maybe a slight everyone sucks here for allowing your wife to take your kids on a vacation they are sure to hate. Your wife needs to put her big girl panties on, grow a spine and tell her mother no. For real, doing the same miserable vacation year after year is straight up asinine. Now, what do you guys make of this situation? What would you do if you was in OP's position? How would you deal with it? Would you go? Would you not? Have you got a different opinion on the matter? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories, your love, your support, your time. It always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.